Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and this is another edition of our Jar of Destiny series. We're actually tasting a beer that we chose, or the jar chose for us, back in April of 2023. Okay, we give ourselves like a few months to get this together. This is a lager style, so I had to get my act together pretty quickly after I chose this, which is BJCP style 5D German Pils. And I read up about it, a golden lager, good clarity, a head that is retained throughout, all the good stuff that we consider, what we bastardize here in America. But here we go. Let's talk about the recipe, and then you tell me more about what you're feeling. I had this after work today, and it was very refreshing. It was extremely cold coming out of my refrigerator. I'm not sure why, if it was just like my head space, but it was great. The water that I used for this, kind of common that I've been using, especially for lagers, using spring water right out of the store, and then mashing that straight up, and then once I get everything into the kettle to boil, I'm adding 7 grams of gypsum to flavor that right at the boil. All right, grains, very simple. I know Mike made a comment when I picked the old chip out. He was like, no, okay, well, what are you going to do, all Pilsner malt? No, 91% German Pilsner malt, and then we did 9% of Brees carapils.
It would have been better if you had said 99% and 1%.
And the dusting of carapils. Anyway.
The carapils was in the brewery somewhere.
Hops are as follows. At 60 minutes to go in the boil, we put in 1.25 ounces. That's 35 grams, give or take a few grams of Perle hops, 5.1 alpha acids on that. And then at 20 minutes to go in the boil, an ounce or 28 grams of Hallertauer. Low alpha acids on that, 2.7%.
Yeah.
And then right to flame out, another ounce of Hallertauer, 28 grams. Again, 2.7% alpha acid. Yeast, we went with Y yeast 2124 Bohemian Lager yeast. We did a 2-liter starter because I had one packet and just like got that going, ready to go, and got that up to fermentation temperatures right before I pitched it. The original gravity on this was 1050. Final gravity is 1012, ABV right under 5%, 4.99%. This was a standard fermentation practice for me for lagers. Got it in the fridge, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius for 2 weeks. And then I just dropped that down while it was still in primary fermentation to like more refrigerator temperatures. Kind of coincided with the Vienna through Mexico lager that I did, because I was kind of corresponding those, that schedule. Yeah, like just trying to like get it all together. So that was then, this was fermented in a keg. Yes. So I fermented in a keg and did a closed transfer into another keg, which became the serving one. And this is what we got. So this has been, chilling in that keg for a couple of weeks. So not bad on the clarity. Like it's pretty clear, but
it's coming.
It's almost there.
Yeah, it's not as clear as the Mexican lager, but it's coming.
It's on its way.
Yep. Difference of yeast and
that's the other thing I'll tell you. For instance, like I was looking at just when you're doing closed transfer, you don't have the ability to see the actual fermentation. Like you don't have that line into the actual vessel. So I'm just looking through the line. I'm like, that's still pretty cloudy. Yeah. So you're hoping like things settle out, and that dip tube isn't going to pull up too much of the tube. Yeah. But it's gotten to here, so I'm happy with that.
It tastes like Pils, man. I mean, it's that Pilsner malt is soft and gentle. It's mildly crackery. Like I get on the nose, to me, it's like white crackers. like it's like saltines.
Saltines, yeah.
Like pure white. That's how I describe to myself that
Oh,
Pilsner
wow,
malt
that's
quality.
Geez,
There's a little bit of noble hop character on the nose, but I am getting a little bit of Bavarian lager, an appropriate amount of a Bavarian lager
yeast profile.
sulfur like
yeast
profile. Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
it's
that's
not
what
eggs,
that's what I'd want. If it was missing, it would. If it was missing, it would taste and smell more like a cream ale or something, right?
I'm happy with the hop profile on the aroma, actually. Like I'm getting a lot of the Hallertauer on that. That's really good.
Yeah, it's so hard with over the last several years, the alpha acid and Hallertauer has been getting, and all those German nobles have been getting lower and lower. You just hope there's enough of the rest of the oils to give you the character you want. So I'm getting a little bit of that spicy herbal quality on the tongue from the hops. There's definitely a little bit of residual fermentation profile coming out on the palate after I swallow it and drink it.
Yeah.
But overall, the body of this is like, there's a little bit more, despite the simple grain, there's a little bit body to this than there was the Mexican lager.
I wonder if the rice was like drying that one out.
Oh yeah, that absolutely. But this is spot on the way it should be. It's right there, medium, low body.
Yeah.
And a little bit of that sweetness, that white cracker type of sweetness. Malt profile. Man, super well balanced and extremely drinkable. I haven't experimented a lot with Bavarian lager yeast, but I like this here. It works really well.
Yeah, it seemed finicky. When I've used it before in glass fermenters, it's just like, it takes some time, dude. Like this is probably 2 weeks fermentation time, but if I was doing a lager and it was in the winter and I was just, I had more time, like I didn't have the Jar of Destiny knocking on my door, I probably would have fermented this for 3 or 4 weeks. Let it do its thing. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even think about it. But I was trying to push it along, and then I would condition this for at least 6 weeks. Because I think this is probably
it's gonna definitely improve while you let it sit. Yeah,
true that.
So you're when you boil, you boil down to 5.5 gallons? Or are you at like 5 gallons when you boil? What do you boil down to? Yeah,
so it's probably between it's probably after like 7 gallons, maybe 7.5.
Pre-boil.
Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to remember. I don't think I boiled. I think I boil 75 minutes. I think that's what I do for lagers.
Okay. Yep.
And so that gets me down typically to 5.5. Gets me, into the vessel, the actual fermentation vessel, 5 gallons right on the nose.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just 7 grams of gypsum in the boil, taken down to, let's say 5.5 gallons. I think that's the right call. It's a pretty good amount of gypsum, but it doesn't taste minerally at all, but it's definitely crisping up what I look at as sort of being weaker alpha acid, and who knows the age of some of these hops that we get as in the homebrew market. We've talked about that before. It's certainly crisping up what you've got for hop character there, and it's certainly helping it out.
I actually bought the Perle from Yakima Valley. Yeah, I think my new rule, and I got this from the internet, so it's true. I try to figure out 1 gram of gypsum per gallon in the boil.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to season the wort, that's my rule of thumb.
Yeah.
So even if I was over a little bit, maybe I was 7.25 gallons, 7 grams feels right.
Yeah. This beer is screaming out for a salty pretzel, like a soft pretzel, or a greasy brat with a little mustard and sauerkraut on a nice toasted bun. It's just, the beer is demanding it.
Yeah.
It's really telling you, don't just let me party by myself. Let's do this. It's great.
I don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone. It's beautiful. This another well done lager. You've really got that pretty well dialed in. I've got a couple lagers in my wish list coming up too, so maybe this will be the Summer of lagers for us.
Summer
this
of
is
lagers.
fantastic. This is a super drinker. Another super drinker.
Yeah.
It's funny too. Like at 10.50 versus the last one. I mean, it's 5%. I mean, man, I would drink liters of this too, but this would probably put me under the table. I mean, it's only 5%, but I think I'd be drinking it too fast. Is the problem.
Well, that's the thing. When this was ice cold,
pound it.
coming out of my fridge this evening, I was like, well, I could definitely, like, it just like felt so good when it hit my lips, you know?
There's just something about just straight Pilsner malt in a beer that's cold versus any other style, right?
Yep.
There's something about the way Pilsner malt just holds up in the super cold flavor on your palate.
True.
It's awesome.
That's true.
It's great.
All right. Well, I'm glad you like this. This is concluding it's a second pick of 2023. We've got 2 more picks.
We got 2 more picks coming up. We got my beer coming up.
And we've got the next tasting next week.
Totally different than this.
Totally different. Because you picked like something like further along the BJC style guide.
Way down the list.
Yeah, like in the 40s, the 60s, the 80s.
Yes.
So we're going to have some Brett beer.
We're going to do some Brett beer.
Oh my God, it's definitely on the other side of the spectrum on this.
Yeah.
All right, rock on. So we're going from super clean to...
Who knows? To good times.
super something.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. All right, thanks for watching. We appreciate your attention. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on.
Cheers.